What's up, YouTube? Mike from Mass here, Mass Aquariums, and I've been tagged in the Aquarium Tuber Tag by Gilly's Reef and my boy Michael from Aaron's Aquariums. So here it goes. I wrote the questions down, so I'm just gonna go at it, as my boy Jeff B says, willy-nilly, so that I can answer these honest. And there's 10 questions, and then at the end, question number 10 is I have to tag 3 more people. Now the questions are all reef related, so I'm gonna tag my saltwater guys, and we'll see how it goes. So first question is, fish only or reef tank? I only have reefs, but I think it would be really cool to have a giant tank where I wouldn't have to worry about corals. So I'm gonna say a fish only tank because I don't have it and I'd really like to have it. Just all sand, no rubble, big sump, all my media in the bottom, and like some baby sharks, octopus, stingrays, you know, really cool fish that don't necessarily, that are the showstopper of the tank as opposed to all the corals. So fish only tank. Question number 2, soft or hard corals? Once again, I only have mostly soft corals, but I do like the way soft corals look. I know a lot of people will not necessarily like what I have to say about this, but a lot of SPSs, in my opinion, unless your camera is zoomed in all the way and you're looking at some crazy polyps wide open, don't look all that spectacular. I think soft corals, to the eye, look a lot better, more colorful, but that's just me. Question number 3, what's my favorite coral? I have gone through a lot of corals, but I think so far my favorite coral has to be the torch coral, in the Euphilia category. Not a hammer, not a frog spawn, torch corals. I love torch corals. I love the way they just flow in your wave makers. I love the different colors they come in. That's got to be my favorite coral, the torch coral for sure. What's my favorite fish? So I would have to say my favorite fish is also my least favorite fish, which is, I believe, the next question. My favorite fish is the mandarin dragonet. It is by far the most beautiful saltwater fish that you can keep in all sorts of size tanks, but it's very difficult to keep. I've tried. You need a good population of copepods, and I had one alive for the longest time, and the best success I had, it jumped the tank and was a mandarin chip the next day. I didn't even notice it. But not only is that my favorite fish, but it's my least favorite fish, and that's why it's my least favorite fish, is because it's very difficult to keep. It's not only when you do have it, it's not really, doesn't seem to be out all that often. It's usually combing the rocks and always in little hiding spots. So that's my favorite fish and my least favorite fish. My least favorite coral. I guess, what's my least? I don't really have a least favorite coral. Most of the corals I've tried successfully have been good. So I really don't have a least favorite coral. I don't really know the answer to that question because I can't think of a coral that I dislike. Because if it doesn't live in my tank, I guess I could dislike that coral, but I don't really try for super difficult corals. So, an anemone is not a coral, so I don't have a least favorite coral for you guys, sorry. Homemade or commercial food. Whatever food is free, that's my favorite food. If you make it at home and you send it to me, or you distribute it out of a giant warehouse and you send it to me, that's the food that's my favorite. My fish eat all fish food. I've never had finicky eaters, frozen, flake, pellet, you know, you name it, they eat it. They're fish, they're hungry, they're gonna eat it. So I like free food, that's my favorite food. LEDs, T5s, or metal halides. I used T5s before in planted tanks, and I've used LEDs only in my reef tanks. I've never tried metal halide, but I've seen a lot of Facebook posts on some beautiful coral shops that have metal halide. I've heard they run really hot, So I would have to say LED, just for the fact that they work and they are very efficient and they last long, and you're going to get the most bang for your buck. So LED all the way. My dream tank would be a tank that I don't have to take care of. A beautiful, say, 125 gallon Reef with a 75 gallon sump that has a dosing pump and a nice auto top off system and the works. Something that I can look at from my recliner every single day and say, wow, that tank is gorgeous. And I never have to do a friggin' thing, a thing to it. That's my favorite tank. A self-sufficient tank. Like Michael Aaron's tank. He probably doesn't have to touch that thing. He's probably never done a water change on that thing either. So, now I must challenge 3 other YouTubers in this Aquarium Tuber Tag. So, I'm going to tag my boy, my homie, the one and only D-Love, D from Brooklyn. You've been tagged. I'm going to tag another one of my buddies who hasn't done a video in probably like a year, Jordan Watkins. You're tagged. And another one of my boys who does videos all the time, but I'm going to tag him anyway, is Joey Young. He's done quite a few saltwater tanks. Right now he's got a 30 long, I believe it is, and it's a planted saltwater. The thing is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. So I'll post links to all 3 of those channels down below, and you've been tagged. So EAD, this is Mike from Mass. I'm out.